This video will walk through configuring the SkillsCMS system on your PC, which involves the following steps. You'll want to create a folder on your PC, on your C drive probably. You'll receive a zip file through email from us. The email will come and you'll download a file through mailbigfile.com because sending this file through regular email is a little bit too large. It'll probably blow up your Outlook email box. So we'll send you the file through mailbigfile.com. You'll save those files to the desired location. There's a setup program to create a desktop shortcut. And then we need to configure a security setting in the Microsoft Office Trust Center, and then you'll be ready to launch the system. So first of all, let's take a look at what the email looks like that you should receive. So in my email system now, I have received an email from mark@trainingwheels.com, and this is coming through mailbigfile.com telling me I have been sent a file. This file has a link that I can use to download this file. I'm just going to click either of these icons here or the hyperlink to open that link up in a new window in my web browser. And it'll show me that link and allow me to download it wherever I'd like. Now I need to decide where I want to save this document. I want to put it in a folder that I need to create. So let me look on my C drive right quick and see if I can create this folder. I'm going to create a new folder on drive C. I'm using Windows 7, but this is very similar in Windows XP, or whatever operating system you're using. On the C drive here, I want to create a new folder, and I want to call that folder Access Databases. Now, this is not critical. You don't have to call it Access Databases, but it's easier if you do call it Access Databases because all the documentation, all the training material, several pieces inside the system are thinking you're going to have all this information in a file on your C drive in this folder called Access Databases. So that's probably the easiest, safest place to create this folder, and that's where I want to save this zip file. So if I switch back over to my email, this is where I've got the link. This is a sample that I sent for Texas District 1, and it's just a link to that file that I can download. Now, so depending on what browser you're using, downloading this file will appear in various places. If you're using Chrome or if you're using Firefox, it may appear when you save it in various locations. But in any browser, whether using IE or Firefox or Chrome, you can intentionally tell the browser where you want to download the file by right-clicking the link. Instead of clicking Download File, I'm going to right-click with the right-hand mouse button, and I want to choose Save Link As, or if you're using IE, it might say Save Target As or Save Link As. Whatever your browser says, you need to right-click and save the file as a particular location. I'm just going to choose Save Link As and tell it I want to put this on that C drive, on local disk C. In my case, it's called OSC. And I'm looking for the folder called Access Databases. So this is just telling the computer I want to save this file on the C drive under Access Databases. And I would save, it'll download that file, and it'll be in that location in a moment when it finishes downloading. So as soon as it finishes downloading, I can switch back over to the folder on the C drive and look, and there is the file called SkillsCMS tx1.zip. Now yours might say SkillsCMS GA or SkillsCMS OH or MD or whatever. If you're using a district or state, it'll be a different file name, but the key is this is a zip file that contains all the files you need to use for the SkillsCMS platform. Now, by zip file, I mean this is one file that contains lots of other files inside of it. So there are several ways to get those files out of this zip. One option is to right-click the file and extract to a particular location. I'm just going to open them with Windows Explorer so I can see what's in that zip file. And you'll see I get another window that pops open here that says these are all of the files that are inside that zip file. It's very easy to just drag these over. I'm just going to move my window over here so I can see both windows at the same time. I can see the target where I want to put them, Access Databases, and I can see the open zip file here. I'm just going to grab all those files, just click and drag the mouse over all of them, and then I'm going to drag them over into that Access Databases folder, and it'll copy all those files to that location. Now I've got all the files that I need. It's not really critical yet what all these files do. It's just important to get them all extracted into the Access Databases folder so that we can begin using them. Now I just want to verify I'm on the C drive, and I'm right in the Access Databases folder, and that's where all those files are. The Skills Registration Program database file contains the program I'm going to run. The data file, in this case TX_I for Texas Region 1. Then there's a PowerPoint template and the documentation if you want to read the Word documentation about how the system works, a security file, a couple of Excel files for creating the scorecards and duplicating judge sheets, several files in there. But now we're ready to set this thing up so we can actually use it. Now the SkillsCMS system is a secured access database, so we need to set up a shortcut. Instead of just directly opening the database files themselves, we need to create a desktop shortcut for ourselves that'll make it easy to launch this thing and log into it. There's a file here called SkillsCMS_set shortcut, which is a simple executable file we can use to install or create a desktop shortcut. I just double clicked on it. I'm going to go ahead and choose run. And it'll give me a little box that I can use to fill out some information about how this is going to work. This box asks me 3 questions. It needs to know where is the location of the skills registration _ program file, what's the location of the security file, and what is the location of my local copy of Microsoft Access. It says 2007, but it'll work fine with Access 2010, either one. So I'm just going to use the little ellipses button here to choose each of those boxes and fill in the details. First, I want to find the location of skills registration _ program. Now remember, we just saw this file. It's right here in the C Access Databases folder. So I'm going to click the little ... button here, and I'm going to look on the C drive under Access Databases, and there's the file I'm looking for. It tells me what I'm looking for right here, locate skills registration _ program. There it is. I'm just going to choose that file, skills registration _ program, and click open. And all that does is fill in and sort of tell the system, okay, here's where I have this file on my computer. Should be the same on your computer. Now I need to select the location of security.mdw. This is just a security file that Access requires to let us log into this thing. Same thing, I click the button, I look on my computer on the C drive, I look in Access Databases, and there's the file, security.mdw. Open that one. And now the last one is to locate my local copy of Microsoft Access. This is the executable file that you need to have installed on your machine as part of the Microsoft Office Professional Suite. It's called msaccess.exe, and this one can be a little tricky to find. So again, I use the button, the ... button to look for it. In this case, I'm going to look on my C drive. I'm going to drill down on the C drive looking for, more than likely you have a program files x86. The x86 just means you have a 64-bit computer and you're looking for the 32-bit or x86 version of Microsoft Office. This system is not compatible with the 64-bit version of Office, so if you have a 64-bit version of Office, you'll need to install a 32-bit version. If that doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry about it. You probably have the right version. So I'm looking under Program Files, and then probably Microsoft Access or Microsoft Office or Microsoft Office 2010 or Office 2010. Look for something where you might see Microsoft Office. I'm going to check in this Microsoft Office folder first. The one is called Microsoft Office 2010. And then I'm looking for Office 14. Yours might say Office 12 if you're using Office 2007. And then inside the Office 14 folder, I'm going to scroll down here. There's a whole bunch of files. Now, they should be alphabetical. I'm looking for msaccess.exe. So you can tell kind of where I've found that. It's on the C drive in Program Files x86, Microsoft Office 2010, Office 14. If you're using Office 2007, it's probably going to say Microsoft Office, Office 12. That's the file we're looking for, msaccess.exe. Go ahead and open that one. So I've told it these are the 3 files I need to know about. Now I'm ready to create my desktop shortcut. When I click Create, we're not going to be able to see this happen. I'll have to move some windows around so you can see what happens. But I click Create, and it will tell me it has created the shortcut. Now let me go find where that shortcut is. I'm going to exit out of all these things. And when I close down all the windows, I can see there is a desktop shortcut. This is the one we're looking for. This just got created, SkillsCMS. It's the desktop shortcut with little interlocking rings. This is the shortcut that we'll use to launch the SkillsCMS system and log in. So when I double click that, it should launch Microsoft Office. May take it a minute to finish configuring things here. So when it finally comes up, it asks me to log in. Now this login box doesn't normally happen when you just launch Microsoft Access directly, but because we use that shortcut, and this is a secured platform, it asks us to log in. The login information, the name is state admin, and the password is contest. This is in the documentation about on page 4. The password is just contest, all lowercase, C-O-N-T-E-S-T, and when I hit OK, it'll log me in. Now there's a couple of minor problems I see right away. You'll notice this security warning. This is a security feature of Microsoft Office to prevent Microsoft Access macros and code from running unless you intentionally trust the location where they're located. So we're going to walk through real quickly how to configure the trusted locations area of Microsoft Office to make this work. I'm going to go to the File menu. If you're using Office 2007, you'll use a little Office button up at the top, a little round circle button. On the File or Office menu, I want to choose Office Options, or yours might say Access Options if you're using 2007. And the options that I'm looking for are in the Trust Center. Trust Center, I want to configure the Trust Center settings. And the thing I need to adjust is the Trusted Locations. I'm just going to click on Trusted Locations, and what I need to do is tell the system that this Access Databases folder where we've copied all our files is trusted. It's okay to run code in there to let this platform run. So I just need to add a new location. And the location I want to use, I'm just going to browse to it. It's the same place we found all these other things. I'm looking on the C drive for Access Databases. C drive, Access Databases, choose Open. And I'm going to go ahead and say subfolders of this location are also trusted. That's not critical, but in case you have some backup folders beneath that or something, you want to make sure they're all trusted. OK. And then I just keep clicking OK till I get all the way back out. And now, of course, I have to log out and log back in for this to take effect. You only have to do this once. The very first time you launch this system, you have to set this trusted location, and you never have to do it again. So I'm going to say OK, and then I'm just going to close out of Access altogether, and then use my desktop shortcut again, the SkillsCMS, to launch it again. And now when I log in, remember it's state admin and the password is contest. This time when I click OK, I don't get any error messages about the thing not being set up correctly. Now in my case, the file worked okay because it found the location of my database. But I want to reset something and show you what it'll probably look like on your machine. Let me exit out of this. I'm just going to use this little closing door button to exit out. So when I launch it now, I'm going to double click to launch it again, log in as contest. This is probably what you'll see. Oh, I think I typed it wrong. This is probably what you'll see when you first launch the system, a warning or an error message like this saying it's unable to locate the data file. Because whenever I send you this program's database, and it's all set up on my machine here, development machine, when you get it, things are probably in a different location and you have a different name, different file name. Instead of Texas 1, you'll be looking for Oklahoma, or you'll be looking for Wisconsin, or whatever state you're looking for. So I need to use this attachment manager to figure out where this platform is. I'm going to click OK here. I just need to locate where is the skills registration data file. So this attachment manager should come up automatically. I'm going to use the Select File to Attach button, Select File to Attach, and I want to look on the C drive in that Access Databases folder. And again, yours might not be Texas, yours might be Florida or Oklahoma or Wisconsin, whatever. You're just going to use a little Open Book button here. I want to look on my C drive under Access Databases for, in this case, I'm looking for Skills Registration Data TXI, Texas 1st District. Yours, again, might say Washington or Texas or California, whatever it is. Open, and then I'm ready to, once I've identified that's the file I want to use, the data file I want to use, I want to reattach all my tables to that data file. Click Attach, Reattach Tables to select the data file. Attachments are successfully made, and then I can close this little screen down, and I'll be back on the main menu where I can see all my icons. Now, this attachment manager button is what does that. So if I need to go in, if that pop-up didn't happen, for example, if I see error here or I see error here, all I need to do is click this attachment manager button and do that same thing. Select file to attach, and I'm looking for wherever it is on the C drive, access databases, skills registration _ data _ Washington or Oklahoma or Pennsylvania or whatever state you happen to be looking for. Reattach them with the button, and then I'm good to go. So, we've seen how to configure the platform, how to download the zip file from mailbigfile.com and put it at C access databases. We've set up the platform with a desktop shortcut. We configured the Microsoft Office Trust Center, and we've been able to successfully launch the system. We should be ready to look at the other videos for running problem reports and printing off name badges and dealing with the Excel scorecard files and all those other things. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email to support@skillsusa-register.org. Thank you.